Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rukayya Idris. I am a second year law student at Northern School in Nigeria. So today's video I'm going to be talking about marriage. I want to marry. you know, everyone else, everyone on the planet right now is getting married, which makes no sense because is everyone not talking about how we don't have money? I thought we were all broke. Like it was a consensus, we were all broke. Where are all these people getting the money from? Huh? So I would like to share my experience with you about marriage and what my views are, and if they're your views as well, or if you have like different opinions. It's a free world. It's a free world. So without any further, I don't like saying the word ado, but I guess that's the only word that fits. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. So I'm going to divide this into like four segments. So the first one, I'm just going to be talking about marriage in the general sense of the word. So like back when everyone was getting married, it was an unspoken rule. When you've clocked to the age of 20, 21, people will start, even as a man, people would start talking to you that, oh, when are you getting married? And it's just something that everyone knew was going to happen at a certain point. No one is even talking about it. But now, with the whole Gen Z magic, it's now do I want to get married or do I not want to get married? So I think I'm liking the dynamic of it. And before, when people got married, they stayed married. Divorce was not even something that we knew. In Nigeria, I still think there are people that don't know the concept of divorce exists. They just live with the person for the entirety of their life. Whether the person cheats, whether the person beats them up, whether they're in love or they're not in love, they don't even think that's what lasts anymore. So I like how, Generation Z will bring in the phenomenon that you can choose to marry or not to marry. If you're a Muslim and you're watching this, yes, I believe in marriage. I'm a Muslim. I actually have no choice but to believe in marriage. But I'm talking in a general sense. For people who are not Muslims, you don't have to be married if you don't want to. It's now becoming a question of, do I want to get married? And as a law student, we learn that, oh, Islam doesn't really force people to get married. It recommends people to get married, though there are alternative schools of thought. But generally speaking, in Islam, you don't see them saying, oh, it's compulsory. If you're not married, you'd go to hellfire. So, yeah, you can choose to marry or not to marry. And I like that we're in a generation where that is something that we're talking about. It's not more a conversation of when are you getting married? It is, are you getting married? The second thing I want to talk about is the age to get married. So a lot of girls are being advised immediately they get out of secondary school. Oh, when are you getting married? Men, when they're done with their university, when are you getting married? Like, it's not even a conversation of, oh, have you found someone you want to be with for the rest of your life? We don't talk about that anymore, do we? We talk about the fact that, oh, are you ready to get married? Are you at the age where you should be getting married? Age of 20 for a girl, or 17 or 18. Like, oh, before you lose your youth, you should get married. And I don't think that makes sense. I think the conversation should be, oh, have you found someone? Is there someone you like? Is there someone you are interested in? How about that? How about we have conversations like that and not, oh, when are you getting married? Did I tell you I want to get married? Did I tell you I'm in love with someone? I didn't, did I? So sorry, I'm getting too hot about this. I am very passionate about this conversation. So I think us as like, oh, the coming generation, the only thing we can do right now to fix the stereotypes is make sure we don't do the same thing when we get there, because there's really nothing we can do about changing the mindsets of our parents. So I would like if you, as the person, before you look at someone and you're like, oh, when are you getting married, you just say, have you found someone? Are you in a relationship? Are you expecting a Valentine's gift? I think that is just a nice question to ask rather than, oh, when are you getting married? Even for the men. I think every man, some women too, a lot of women too, but mainly what a man is most concerned with right now is just making money. Because men are seen as the protectors and the ones that are taking care of the family. So they have to have money before they get that family. You don't want to have a bunch of children that you can't take care of. And yes, people do it. People get married and they're not able to take care of the child. So isn't it better to not be married than to get married and then subject other people to poverty. Again, I'm very passionate about this. But yeah, don't get married unless you know you are with the right person and it is something you absolutely want to do. The third thing I want to talk about is love. Yeah, I said it. Love. As a pessimist, I'm not someone who believes in love, but I think it is something that's very essential in marriage. People are like, oh, you can learn to love someone. Just- I, I don't think you should be married to someone that you don't love. And now it's not even a conversation of love anymore. It's a conversation of, oh, compatibility and all. And I do think all those things are very helpful. I also think love is a very essential thing because love forgives. Love is something that if you have, you'll be able to let go of a lot of the bullshit that people throw at you. But if you don't love that person and they're misbehaving, who are you? I don't love you. Why would you misbehave? So I think love forgives a lot of the time. And so it is very, very essential to have that kind of thing in a marriage. So people getting married to people they don't love because, I'm old or he's the only one that's coming, she's the only one I found. I don't think that makes sense at all. I think you should marry someone you truly, truly love and that truly, truly loves you. Someone you know the love, it's unlikely that the love will fade. People say, oh, once you get married, you have your first kid, the love dies. It dies if you want it to die. Big Sean once said this thing that I really love. Big Sean said, the grass ain't greener on the other side. It's green where you water it. If you work on your marriage, if you work on your relationship with someone, the grass is always going to be green. It's when you give up. It's when you say, oh, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired. And I'm not saying that's bad. But I'm just saying it only works if you put in the effort. So yeah, marry someone you love, not someone that's nice or that's compatible with you. That's also good. But have the love. Okay? The fourth thing I would like to talk about is children. When do you want to have children? Because there's this crazy notion that everyone has, and I didn't know about, that immediately you get married, you have to start having children. Someone once told me that, oh, when you get married, you should have children immediately just so you can rest. And I am pretty sure when you have a kid, your resting period is pretty much over because kids are forever. I don't care what you think. Even when they get married, even when they have children of their own, they are still your burden to take care of. Kids get divorced, in case you don't know, and they go back to who? To who? Their parents. So I'm sick and tired of this belief that immediately you get married, 9 months later, we will come visiting. Flavor said that, and I didn't know what it meant at that time, but now I do. And I don't think people should get married and start having children immediately. I think you should wait, get to know your partner, you know, figure out what type of person they are. You guys should have a conversation about who is going to stay at home and take care of the child. Because gone are the days where women didn't have careers and didn't have passions, and they were the ones taking care of the kids. Women have careers that they want to further. So who is going to be at home? Are you fine with nannies? All these things are things you should think about when you're deciding who you want to get married to. What are their views on marriage? How many kids do they want to have? Are you comfortable having that amount of children as a woman? Those are things you should really talk about. I had an aunt who told me that when I told her I didn't want to have kids, immediately I got married. She was like, I'm an idiot. And I was so taken aback because I was like, how am I an idiot? And then she said, well, your husband can decide to have another wife and then you're going to be lonely. Don't I have parents, friends, people to talk to? Why am I bringing a life into this world because I'm lonely? And that's another thing too. A lot of people have kids because for selfish reasons. Oh, I'm trying to save my marriage. Oh, I want someone to take care of me when I'm old. You sound very, very selfish. As far as I'm concerned, there is no selfless reason to have a child. The only reason I will have a child is because God said so. So if you're not someone who subscribes to my opinion, why are you having children that you can't take care of? Children that you cannot devote your entire life to because you are responsible for them being in this world. You owe them every single thing. So, yes, all these things should be taken into account when you decide you want to be with someone and you want to start having children. The final thing I want to talk about is soulmate. I know, disgusting. I don't like it either. But yeah, we are slowly realizing that a lot of people are getting divorced these days. Marriages are not lasting forever the way they used to. Before, if you got married, that was it. Even though the person cheats, the person is violent, it's mentally and emotionally abuses you, even if you're not attracted to the person anymore, you still have to be in that relationship. Those days are gone. So we're seeing situations where if someone is not comfortable with the relationship, they leave. And you have to get used to that. Is that something that you're comfortable with? Do you know that one day your partner could leave? Would you be broken by it? You should have those conversations with yourself. Be at peace with it, that this is something that could possibly happen. So when, if it does ever happen, you will not be taken by surprise. I'm not saying marriages don't last forever. Some do, and that's beautiful. I'm just saying, what if it doesn't last forever? Are you good? So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about marriage. If you have any questions or observations, leave them down at the comments. I will reply. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Stay tuned for another video. Bye.